It stops becoming her body when another body is involved. In the case of a human fetus, she made the choice to conceive. Not always. My dude, can you explain for me what the term unplanned pregnancy means? By its very definition, if it is unplanned, then she did not choose to conceive. And a consent to sex is not a consent to pregnancy. And this is when you guys typically say, well, she knew the risks before having the sex, so it's her fault. Okay, so every time you get into a car, if you have an accident, if you get hurt, that's your fault? This is a very common misconception called victim blaming. Do you want to live your entire life in a bubble or something, just not living it at all because of what might happen? Now let's hit your other point. If it stops becoming her body whenever another body is involved, does that mean that the fetus is now driving her body? It has more rights than she does? The presence of a fetus does not erase bodily ownership. If I walked into your house uninvited and I just said, I own this house now, would that be right? Or would you be fully within your rights to get me out of your house by any means possible? Bodily autonomy is an essential, unconditional right. No other right can exist without it. If you don't own yourself absolutely, then you don't own anything. You are a slave to something else. And maybe you haven't heard me use this analogy before, but I'm going to lay it on you anyway. If I were dying and I needed my mother's, father's, somebody in my family's kidney to survive, they do not have any obligation whatsoever to give it to me. Even if one of them died and their body is still warm and I could use one of those organs, if they didn't sign a donor registration card, I'm out of luck. So what you are advocating for here is to say that a dead body should have more rights than a woman who is pregnant. And she made the choice to conceive? Dude, are we really going to pretend like rape doesn't exist? No man should ever be able to tell a woman what she can or cannot do with her own body. If you're against bodily autonomy rights, you are against freedom. Plain and simple. It does not get any easier than that. If you don't accept that bodily autonomy is absolute, then you absolutely condone slavery. There is no way around that fact. Say you found out that you had cancer and you said, you know what? I am not going to go the chemo route. I'm just going to see how this goes and just let it play out the way it's going to play out. But I am pro-life and I say, no, you can't do that. I understand that it's your body, but I think you are making an incorrect choice here, and you could die as a result of that choice, so you're not allowed to not have the chemo. So because I have a very strong opinion about this, is it okay if I tell you what you do with your own body? This shouldn't be a hard concept, my dude, especially if you like living in a free country. If you learn that somebody is pregnant and they say, you know, I don't really know which direction I'm going to go with this yet, that is the end of it being your business. Let's normalize dudes staying out of the business of what women decide to do with their own bodies. Okay? Thanks.